Good morning. So before I begin, I wanted to tell a music story that Bodie reminded me of with the birthday of his story about his guitar. So last weekend, I was at the Santa Rosa Symphony, and there was a cellist who did the solo concerto. And he told this story about hailing a cab in New York City with his guitar, or his cello over his arm. And so he maneuvered the cello into the cab, and the cabbie said, "God, what you got there?" And he said, "Oh, it's my cello." And the cabbie said, "What's a thing like that worth?" So very quickly he said, "Oh, it's old, it's been used. It's a used cello." From the 1700s. So, good morning. I'm Reverend Karyl Huntley. I would love to welcome you all here today to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. We have our two membership goddesses right here to welcome anyone who is here for the first time, or those of you who are back after a long time. And there are a lot of you because I spot you coming in. There are people who haven't been here for a long time, and a special welcome to you. And then, of course, a welcome to everybody that I see every Sunday. I love you completely. So if you have not received one of our new comer packets, would you please raise your hand? And then as the lovely women are giving them out, I want to introduce some very special people that I saw come in the door. Some guest reverends, the Reverends Grabowski, Bob and Barbara. Would you please stand up? Very happy to have you. Very, very instrumental in our international ministries. So we are here today, and our vision is awakening personal transformation as always. Our mission is teaching tools for positive change, and I hope you get a couple of tools today for your own positive change. We are about the 2016 global vision, a world that works for everyone. And as most of you know, this is a topic that is spoken about in hundreds of our churches worldwide. This is a unified theme that we are going through. And the April theme is kinship with all life. So the idea here is that the life of God, which is our life, is the life in everything. So the life in plants and animals and water and the planet herself, it's all the same. It's all God's life. Leonardo da Vinci, now was he in the 1700s? I think he was. He was right about the time of that cello. He said, "Learn how to see. Realize everything is connected to everything else." So we are one with the flame and the flowers of this beautiful altar, beautiful spring altar created by our Marsha Dawson. Let's hear it for the altar. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you. So if you don't have one of these, this is kind of the study guide for the entire year. It has what we believe as a denomination on one side. It has the quotes from A World That Works for Everyone on the other side, and all of the talks have something to do with something here. So today we are talking about where we live, a world that works for everyone, where we live as one global family, and where kinship with all of life is sacred. That's what we're talking about today. And the thematic quote is here: "We see a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all of life." So this so reminds me of the song that we sang, the chant, "The ocean is the mother of us all." That's where all the life came from, is out of the ocean. And this beautiful image, I think, shows that perfectly. So, let's see. Oh, John Muir. I have something wise that wonderful John Muir said. "When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe." So that's that picture as well. So today I want us to really take this to heart, the idea of one global family. and the idea of interconnectedness with all of life. So it's easy, of course, for us to know that we are one with all that we love, all those parts of life that we love. But we're also one with all of those things that we know nothing about, all of those things that we don't understand, all of those things that we kind of have a judgment against. And so all of it, every single thing, everything you can see here, everything that moves through your mind as I talk today, we are one with it. There couldn't be anything else to be one with because God, the Creator, has created it all. So the title of my talk is this: Making One Global Family Personal and Real. I love, love, love this image from Norman Rockwell. And I've seen this so many times, as I know you all have, and what I noticed about this today is that everybody is looking at this quote, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." This little guy's looking up, this little girl's looking up, everybody is looking at that truth. And I don't know when he did, 30s or 40s probably, he created this beautiful, beautiful painting, which is all of our kin. And you know, when you think about what's going on in the news today and what we call the problems of our world, every single problem of our world, every single conflict, every single hurt, that when we think about it, it pains us. All of that is because we aren't living the truth behind one global family. We are feeling separate. We are feeling separate from each other. We are feeling separate from our good. We are feeling separate from God. And so whatever it is that you came with today, I think everybody comes to the community. I mean, you make a decision to get dressed and get out of bed. And so I think everybody comes with something that they're searching for. They want more of what they love, or they want to heal what doesn't work. And what doesn't work is indicated by some sort of sense of separation, which is false, because we are one global family and all of life is the same. So as we hear these words today, I want you to make it personal, no matter what you came with. No matter what you came with, know that other people are experiencing the same thing. I mean, they don't have your particular challenge, your particular hurt, but, you know, pretty much there's just a few themes in life. And whatever it is that you are experiencing, you can bet that there's somebody else that's experiencing the same thing. And so as we talk about one global family, what I'd love for us all to do, and I speak for myself as well, that we become a little less selfish, more generous of spirit, a little less separating and compartmentalizing, more inclusive, more honest, and more compassionate. It's so interesting what happens in my world. You know, I mean, I share with you a lot of what's going on with me, but this that I'm going to share now is happening to our denomination. It's all over the ministers' listserv recently. We have contracted the next year for our convention to have it in Nashville, Tennessee. And Tennessee is voting on a law that is very punishing to LGBT people. And so the internet is on fire with, we should cancel the convention or we should go there with our love. That's basically it. And passionate ministers saying all the reasons that we should cancel it and all the reasons that we should go there with our love. I'm pretty proud of us, but what it does is it focuses on how do we heal separation and how do we flow into the truth that never changes, that we are one global family. We are one with our brothers and sisters. So I just think that that's so interesting that happened. That's happening. It's happening right now. So I'll keep you posted. So when we talk about this, when we talk about one world, one global family, one life, it reminds me of this beautiful concept of Indra's net. So this is, of course, a spider web with dew on it, but it's It's one with Indra's net. So Indra's net is a metaphor from the Hindu tradition. There is a great god, Indra, in that tradition, and he has a beautiful, beautiful palace, and hanging over the palace of Indra is a great net, and it stretches out in all directions. And on every cross piece of the net, there is a jewel. The jewel represents life, pieces of life. So each one of us is a jewel. Each event in the world is a jewel. Each issue that you have in your life is a jewel. Each experience that you have is a jewel. So it's things and experiences that are, and you can imagine there's a bunch of them. There's an infinite number of jewels that reaches out in all directions. And from this metaphor comes some truths that I'd like to talk about first. And the first one of these is the holy allness. Everything is on the net, and it is all holy. It is all sourced by God. And so everything, everybody, every situation, every circumstance, condition, experience, event is sourced by God. It's all precious, miraculous, and it is an essential part of the whole. There is nothing that can be left out. Alan Watts wrote, "Just as the waves are continuous with the ocean, your body is continuous with the total energy system of the cosmos, and it's all you." This is actually very consistent with the physics of subatomic particles, the string theory, that we're all connected. It's a mesh of energy out there, and it's just because of our sensory apparatus that we get to see people. Otherwise, it's all this cosmic soup that is a lot like Indra's net. So, this is a quote from something I found on the internet. There hang the jewels, glittering like stars in the first magnitude, a wonderful sight to behold. If we now arbitrarily select one of these jewels for inspection and look closely at it, we will discover that in its polished surface there are reflected all the other jewels in the net, infinite in number. So, Indra's net, representing all of reality, is dependent in its organization. Nothing is independent. Each depends on the other for support. Each depends on being a part of the whole. Nothing stands alone. There's not one jewel hanging out there with nothing connected to it. Everything is interdependent and reflects each other. The quote goes on to say, "Not only that, but each of the jewels reflected in this one jewel is also reflecting all the other jewels, so that there is an infinite reflecting process occurring." So the next truth is, we have an infinite reflecting process. Each of us reflects everything else. So if we look, we see each other in ourselves. When we separate ourselves and say, "I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that," it's not the truth, because all of us are in this together. You know, humans share 50% of our DNA with bananas. That's amazing. When we say that all life is one, 50% of us is just like a banana. And think of how much of us is just like the flowers. My goodness. So if we see something in another, it's because it's in us, or it's important to us, or it's something that we need to look at. We are completely related and reflecting and necessary for each other. So now I'm going to say a little example of the political process. I can't seem to stay away from this. So I want us to know right here that we love each other in this room. And I bet that if the election were today, there would be votes in this room for every single person that is running for president. I bet. And don't shake your head. We are one with each other, and everybody, whatever it is that bothers you, it's something for you to look at in yourself. So I have now this week, my development, my spiritual development is that I have some compassion for Trump. And let me just tell you, really, I'm serious about this, because there's all that, my Facebook, my source, my Facebook. There's all of these letters that I can sign that say I am against the hate that Trump is expressing. I am against that the violence and the hate that he's spouting. I'm against Trump and the violence and hate that he is spouting. So I think to myself, poor Trump. We're blaming it all on him. And who is it that called him forth? How did he emerge? How did he come to be in our face? You know, my mom was a spectacular teacher of practitioners. And she had a quote. She said, now it's a quote because it's so great. She said, everything that happens is a consciousness necessity. That means that things don't just sprout up out of nowhere, just like we don't have a gem that's not hanging on the net. Everything arises out of consciousness. And so where is it that we are contributing to the hate in those letters that they have asked me to sign, which I will not sign because I am trying to expiate and finish up and let go of the anger and hatred that is within me. Do I get riled? Absolutely. Do I use that as a teaching tool for myself? Hopefully most of the time, because it is an infinite reflecting process. And if I'm noticing it, it's something for me to notice for my blessing, for my benefit. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. That's all I'm going to say about politics today. You're all fine. Okay. We are one and connected with all that we love. So here's a family and a doggy, and everybody is in love. We all have photographs like this, I betcha, on our computer or in our albums. And it's because we love our people, we love our pets. And it's easy to know and agree with that we are one and connected with everything that we love. And when we think about what we love, whether it be events or experiences or bits of knowledge that we love, books that we love, movies that we love, it's easy to know we're connected. It's easy to see ourselves in that which we love, right? Right? This is where we stand on the foundation of knowing that this is the absolute truth, because all those other things we're one with too. For example, we are one with and connected to all that we do not understand. Now, isn't this a great, great picture? This is Maori dancers. They're doing the haka dance. The haka dance was originally a warrior dance, and now it's done for dignitaries, it's done for sporting events, and it is, I mean, you can go online, you can go on YouTube, another favorite source of mine. You can go on YouTube and see these amazing men, you know, doing these dances, and the power of God moving through them. It is amazing. And so this is a dance that says, we are an honorable ancient race, and we are sacred. That's what's happening there. That's what's happening there. And so if we don't understand this, and I understand exactly as much as I've just told you, nothing more. Think of all of the details of every culture that we know nothing about. And it sort of runs in families, I think, for either people to say, Isn't that fascinating and wonderful? And look at them do that, and I wonder what it means. And oh my goodness, I wish I knew more. That's some families. My family, you know, at least back 2 generations was, well, I won't tell you what they would probably say, but it's not as positive. It's like, you know, aren't they different? and everything else that would be a little bit more judgmental. But if we don't understand things, if we could just bring it in and say, there is something valuable for me here, because it's here, it's in my space, it's in my face, I'm looking at it, I'm not going to ignore it, I'm not going to minimize it. Of course we have to choose because we get so much input, and then if we, you know, look around on the internet a little bit more, we get lots and lots more input. But just to know that everybody, I mean, these are sons and husbands. These are sons and husbands, and their families absolutely love them and are so proud of them. And can we not feel that for our family? And can we not feel that for them right now? So what if we took every single thing as essentially important to somebody? It's essentially important to somebody, and therefore it is sacred. Everything. Every single thing. What a wonderful tool for transformation. And then lastly, we are one with and connected to that which is deeply troubling. So I told Mary to find an image that is troubling but not deeply troubling, because you're going to have to look at it for a while. And it's troubling, those young hands on the bars. It's troubling. And boy, I could have put more troubling images up there, as you can probably imagine in your head right now. And it's all a part of us. If we have an aversion, it is most important to us, because we can't change anything for the better if we ignore it or keep it at arm's length or try to keep it away from us. We cannot change it at all. And so what bothers us is of great, great, great importance to us, or we would not take notice. David Bohm, the theoretical physicist, says this: I believe in the absolute oneness of God, and therefore humanity. Though we have many bodies, we have but one soul. The rays of the sun are many through refraction, but they have the same source. I cannot therefore detach myself from the wickedest soul, nor may I be denied identity with the most virtuous. So, how can we see something disturbing and make it better in the moment? Simply by including it in our heart of hearts and offering it love. Because we are a part of the infinite reflecting process. Looking a little bit deeper into this for just a moment. The infinite reflecting process, there we are, another picture of Indra's net. Knowing that the furthest and the nearest is my global family. We have 7 billion of our closest friends alive and in their bodies on earth right now. And every single one of them is, we're one with. Every single one of them is much like us. You know, every morning before service at 9:30 we have a prayer, and the first part of the prayer is to put anyone in the center of the circle that anyone is concerned about. All of the volunteers create this circle, and we put someone in the center that we want a special prayer for. And a lot of times we know these people, but a lot of times we don't. We don't know who is named, but we love them anyway. And what I would like is for any of the 7 billion people to be named, and we could hold them in love in the center of our circle. So whatever of these 7 billion is in front of us, whichever is in front of us, it's no accident. It's just like my mom said, it is everything that is a consciousness necessity, because it was created by somebody in consciousness, and it's in your face, so it's a part of you. So with that, I have something really, really thrilling to share with you. I got a copy of this brand new book. It's Courage, Conviction, and Consciousness, 365 Days of Inspiration from the Women of New Thought. And guess who's in there? It's a day book, 365 days, and Mom has 3 days. So, yes, our teacher. So I'm going to read to you a little bit of June 18th. It's so sweet. It's so sweet because I'll tell you that this man who, C. William Mercer, who Mom was found via a serendipitous events, which was a consciousness necessity, right? That she be in this book. And so Bill called me and said, I need some quotes from your mom. Well, the quotes from my mom are in this place in the garage that I've not been able to go through yet. Since her death in 2008, I've not been able to touch it. So I launched into this place in the garage, and then I see at the bottom of this page, Doris Jones from her collected works. And I'm thinking, okay, I got my work cut out for me. Okay, so this is what my mom said on a Wednesday night class about responsible choice. I have the power through responsible choice to accelerate my own evolution and to make my pathway to wholeness a joyous journey. I follow my feelings to become aware of the conflicting parts of myself. I look honestly, openly, and with courage into the dynamics behind what I feel. I let go of the demands of my personality that conflict with the needs of my soul. I let go of any idea that conditions have any power over me. I take into account the consequences of each and every choice and then choose to act through the wisdom of my soul. This is the conscious road to a life of wholeness. You know, if you just lived by that'd take you a long ways. It would take you a long ways. So, moving quickly through the rest of this, infinite reflecting process means that what I love is magnified. And if you just give gratitude for what you love and look at it and love it and love it and look at it, it fills you up more. Infinite reflecting process is what bothers me is my teacher. Many of the examples that we've already said today, nothing is there by accident in your face. Nothing is there by accident. It's a consciousness necessity that it's right there. It's a gift for you. And then knowing that interconnectedness breeds compassion. Ernest Holmes said, we cannot only embrace ourselves, somehow our arms must find themselves around the shoulders of all humanity. And so when something comes to us that is easy for us to connect with, it's for our blessing. And when something comes to us that is difficult for us to embrace, it's for our learning. It is to challenge us, to heal us, to bring us together, to forgive, to reveal the truth, to ask to have the energy put there, something. It's not there to annoy you. It is there to be a tool for your spiritual growth. So I want to read one more thing about, in conclusion, about this little guy right here. You've heard about the butterfly effect. So here was a man, Chris Rosati, who is a man living with ALS. So he writes, the butterfly effect is this idea that a single butterfly flapping its wings on one side of the globe can, in theory, start a hurricane on the other. It's a physics concept, but Rosati wondered if it could be applied to kindness as well. An act of kindness, how far could it go, he wondered. A few months ago, he decided to test the theory at a dinner in his hometown of Durham, North Carolina. He saw 2 girls at the table next to his and gave them each $50 with one very simple instruction, to do something kind. Rosati says he left the diner and forgot all about it until he got an email. It included pictures from a village in Africa with people holding signs that read, "Thanks a lot for spreading kindness." The 2 girls responsible were 13-year-old Kate Cameron and her 10-year-old sister Anna. They say they couldn't believe it when a stranger gave them each $50. That makes you want to do something really good with the money, said Anna. The girls say they already knew about this village in Sierra Leone, where their dad had worked in the Peace Corps. They knew the people there had been working hard to fight Ebola, so the girls paid for a feast to help them celebrate being Ebola-free. They say it felt great to help. So that is the butterfly effect. In conclusion, I know that this has been a global talk. It's been a talk about big concepts, and I know that people come here with their individual life issues that mean so much to them, and how can you apply this global concept to your life? Just with the butterfly, if you realize that there is something in the world, something in Indra's net that can help you, something that can be the information you need, the support you need, the idea that you need, something that will open the way for it to come to you. And then the other thing is your wise choice. When you take that wisdom and apply it to your life issue, your wise choice changes everything. We can't do anything alone. We can't do anything alone. Every choice we make affects the interconnectedness of all of life. So, coming back to the spiritual principles today. The first is, all of life is interconnected. And the second, from our teacher this morning, everything created is a consciousness necessity. And the way you take this into your life, if you don't have any ideas yet, here's the spiritual practice that you take it and you do it. And that is, say often, I am one with that. I am one with that, and that, and that. I am one with you. Thank you. And so as we do the inner work today, the compassion practice that we have done before, just like me. Let anyone come into your mind. And as we already know how to do, to say, I am one with that, we say, just like me, this person in my mind's eye wants love in their life. And so I send them love. Letting another person come into your mind's eye and saying, just like me, this person longs for connection, connection to good, connection to wisdom, connection to another, connection to a pet, connection to the earth. Bringing another one, another beloved into your mind's eye. Just like me, this person wants answers to those questions that are right before the answers. Not the big mysteries. Just like me, everybody is awash in the mystery. But just like me, those simple questions that I don't have the answers for now, this person wants answers. And bringing another person into your mind's eye. Just like me, this person wants a place to put their skills. What they know how to do, they want to give it, just like me. And finally, bringing yet another person, letting them just appear. Somebody wants to be in this exercise with you, and there they are. Just like me, this person wants a peaceful future for their progeny, their own children, or their nieces or nephews, or the neighborhood children, or the children that they see on TV. They want peace and plenty for those children. And knowing that just like me, my source is creative, and I can co-create a world that works better for everyone. And so it is.